Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Spring Championships. What? The Spring Championships? Not Spring Interjection, but that's right. Today, I was looking through my PC and I came across a very interesting file. One that I never actually uploaded to YouTube, and I have honestly no idea why this is the case, because this game, as you can see from the length of the video, was really, really good. It was between Boneng, who we know from SmackDown, has a very particular preference for his watery style of industrial age gameplay. Shall we say, fishing ships, frigates, monitors, definitely high up on the list of things that he likes to make, and well known sometimes for not even making a military unit until the 15-minute mark. But yes, him up against arguably one of the best players of all time. Yeah, possibly the best player of 2015 at least, and that is Blackstar OP, of course, who kind of disappeared off the radar a bit after he beat H2O in the grand finals of the ESOC Spring Championships of 2015. So it'll be interesting to see him play again, even though this was actually played quite a long time ago. It was recorded a while ago in a different meta game whilst the Spring Championships were going on. It was actually played as a show match back on RE patch, so not ESOC patch, which kind of makes a change, I suppose. All of the videos of competitive matches nowadays are played on ESOC patch, so this will be a throwback to the times of old, before we had made our own balance changes to the game. And to accompany us on this throwback, Veni is casting with me. And for those of you that don't know, because I have gained quite an enormous number of new subscribers between spring of 2015 and now, Veni, if you don't know who that is another popular Age of Empires 3 caster who sadly also disappeared, a bit like Blackstar. A really knowledgeable guy, a pleasure to cast with, and I'll put his links below. But somebody who was really, really quite good at what he did, but doesn't do it anymore, which is a shame. Or does he? Today, as of when I am recording this introduction at least, I saw him streaming. Casting and playing AoE 3 was the title of his stream, and I don't know what that tells you, but coincidentally, I also saw Blackstar log on for the first time in several months playing Age of Empires 3 again. Interesting, right? And quite a coincidence that I find this video on the same day that I saw that. So those two, if you see them online like I did, let them know what you think. And we do have the Spring Championships coming up again, after all. The 2016 ones, that is. Something to think about. I'll leave you with that. Enjoy the video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to not the Spring Championships. Again, we're streaming for those, but the scheduling has been rather awkward. So we have another show match. Why not? To the many viewers that we do indeed have today. Blackstar OP vs Boneng, game number 2 in, it's not really a series, they're just playing games, that's absolutely. But this map is Hudson Bay. The map created by Gaia, very similar to Saguenay, but of course some differences which make it very, very nice indeed. Of course, the differences being you start not quite as close to the water, so the fighting doesn't revolve quite as much around sort of coastal sort of BS. And you do have these two sort of outpost section, these two ponds in the middle. I will get into the players in a moment. I just want to talk about the map. We have these two islands in the middle of the pond. I was going to say these two ponds in the middle of the pond, which doesn't make sense. And of course, in Age of Empires 3, you can put outposts around the water to control a section of water, because outposts are absolutely insane against boats. And obviously, it gives you the option to put outposts on these islands as well, which gives you access to controlling an even larger section. So 2 players can simultaneously have water without the game being revolved exclusively around one person taking the water and capturing it, and that can be quite nice. And that's how it works in AoE 3, which is good. And water isn't always like 100% you have to take water. Like, you don't always have to. There are certainly viable land options as well. But let's start with the Russian player. Oh, we have.
Let's first go back to the treasure here.
Let's go to the treasure. Let's look at this treasure before
here.
we introduce our players. We have a fight over it. Go ahead, Veni.
Yeah, just a small fight. We saw Boneng scout the treasure first. He sniped off one of the bears, but the dog of Blackstar was then finding the treasure, and that means that he's
the treasure goes in. I think. Oh, that was very close. Blue knows he's not going to get it though, but very, very cheeky from Blackstar there. He might lose his war dog, but the thing is with this though, Spain do get the war dog, whereas Russia don't have any extra additional unit. That is, Spain obviously have the ability. They start with 1 war dog and can train up to 5. That's what they do. But almost could have taken that out. Could have taken out this guy.
There's one little technical thing I want to point out here. You saw that Blackstar, maybe not sure if you noticed it, but he walked like from this to this to this treasure. But instead of going for this 135 XP treasure right away, he chose to scout the bottom part with his dog to make sure that he would find any treasure that Boneng would possibly be working on first. He knows he has the advantage, so he knows he can get more treasures later on if he kills the hero, or that if he can maybe steal a treasure. So I think that's a very smart play, not to really
That is very smart. Veni, you pick up on these things. Like Blackstar as well, actually, obviously doing that, the player himself. Playing with a Civ that is very, very rarely seen in the meta because it's quite bad. But making advantages out of very small things like having a War Dog at the beginning of the game, that's, wow.
Yeah, it's a good job by him. It's what differences the let's say the top players from the very good players, so to say. But okay, he's also going to pick up 95 wood here, of course, very nice for Spain.
Nice. 95 wood is absolutely insane for any civ, especially Japan and British, but that's not the point, they're not here. But Spain definitely can use that to lay down a trading post and make their civilization bonus even more potent with, of course, that extra trading post, which will most likely be what he built. Oh, another War Dog coming out. What do you think of this? He's built a War Dog.
Yeah, that is...
Well, got to slow him down. Of course, those things cost 75 food. Not going to be age up quite as quickly. Though I think he maybe got the Discovery Aging Q, sorry, the Colonial Aging Q before he built it.
Yeah, because keep in mind, he also stole the 150 food treasure, so I think he was able to afford the second dog.
He did pick up a 150 food treasure, yes. Anyway, I suppose we ought to introduce these players. That's something I should have done before talking about the ponds. But I don't know, I love Hudson Bay, especially this spawn. The snowy spawn I don't like quite as much, but still a very interesting map. Do we have a fight over the scouts? No, we do not, but that's always worth taking a look at. Here we have Blackstar in the east of the map in the colour red, playing as the Spanish. Not a very strong civilization, largely because their bonus, they receive shipments faster, was nerfed into the ground, along with some of their other shipments. Sorry, like 5 Lancers is now 4 Lancers, and 4 Lancers is now 3 Lancers. I don't know what they were thinking when they made that nerf, because 3 Lancers is complete BS. Why would you ever send that? Anyway, Spain is never seen because they're really bad, but having a War Dog, as we can see in this match, is actually really good, and that's another advantage that Spain has that is perhaps not thought of because you so rarely see Spain. But indeed, using that to pick up 150 coin, this is going to be an interesting matchup. Still going to be quite tough for Spain, and not actually that good. But then Russia is fairly low down on the tier list as well, though certainly stronger than Spain. Here is Boneng in the west of the map in the colour blue, playing as indeed the Russians, as I did say. Both players now aging up. Looks like Boneng's going with the 17 villager age up, characterised by, of course, that market, and of course their villagers training batches of 3, which kind of makes it awkward. You either go up with 14 or you go up with 17. You can't really choose. But yeah, very, very going for that boomy style route. Veni, what do you think of this matchup?
Yeah, well, I do want to comment on one thing that you said there. Spain indeed not one of the best civilizations. However, I played a few games versus Spanish lately, and it seems that if the player is playing like good, and that means scouting good, adapting good, etc., Spain actually isn't as bad as most people feel it is, I think. Because you can react very quick because of the shipments that you get very quickly, and because of the range of shipments that you have, and because of the range of strategies that you have, which of course mostly rely on a fortress-based strategy. But also, of course, maybe you saw that right before we started, Blackstar changed his civilization to Spanish, and then Boneng replied with LOL. And I actually think that I kind of agree with that, because Spain versus Russia, I feel that it is in the advantage of Spain.
Do you think, actually come to think of it, my knowledge of vanilla is that Spain is really, really strong against Russia. But on TAD, I just didn't think it would be true. Just Spain is just nerfed so hard.
Well, the thing is, of course, the one advantage for the Russian player here is that, like you see, Blackstar put his tower very defensively because he doesn't know what kind of strategy Boneng is going for. So if you would, for example, like usually you see, for example, a Spanish tower put somewhere over here to gain map control and to have a faster push in the third age. However, if the Russian guy is going to build his blockhouse somewhere over there, or maybe even more forward, you're going to lose your tower for sure, which then means that you have no defense at all, and you also have no shipping point left there, and of course no attack. So he was forced to build it at home, in a way. He goes for a stable. But like in the third age, especially with the treasures that the Spanish guy gets on this map, 150 food, XP, 150 coin, this one's still left to pick up later on. Spanish can just still age very fast to the third age and then spam lances and cannons, and that's really hard for Russia to deal with.
Very, all of their units being infantry, very well, most of them at least, and especially infantry that are weaker because they cost less as well. They're going to be very tough. Lance is very, very strong. Oh, He's going for the Cherokee Rifleman here, taking a lot of damage from the Outlaw Pistolo, but Blackstar identifies it and has 2 War Dogs in the area. Gonna be able to kill that Explorer before he can kill the Treasure Guardian. Do you think maybe he can kill the Treasure Guardian as well before it... Oh no, it sat back down.
I think it would have been a good move, I agree, but he probably didn't think about it.
But obviously it goes back to full HP, but still the guy gonna come in, possibly crack shot that, pick himself up that treasure. But let's talk about what's going on so far. Of course, Russia starting with the distributivism shipment here. 2 cavalry coming from Spain, gonna try and get a Vil kill. I'm not sure what he's done with all of those cavs. Certainly trained 5 cav in the other portion of the game. Gonna try and harass Spain whilst I think, well, Spain wants to get up, so gonna do some harassing whilst before he ages. But sending his distributivism because that's what Russia does. 700 wood on the floor. They're gonna use that to lay down infrastructure such as houses and of course the military buildings. 700 coin as well. Now gonna use that either to age, possibly. That might be what he has in mind. I don't think it is though, because he built quite a lot of a stable and a barracks. Gonna use that to pump out some units. And that's, I think, what Russia
actually, you mentioned before he's aging up with 70 villagers. He's making the blockhouse in a very defensive spot. I actually feel that he's making himself ready for going for, maybe a small push with musketeers to take out a trading post, but actually I think he should be aging up himself.
Yeah. Absolutely, and we'll explain exactly why in a moment. But yeah, playing very economically with the 17 slow villager age up with the early market and the 700 wood, a very efficient shipment. Of course, wood is the slowest gathering resource in AoE 3, so you want to ship that, and then you can get all this infrastructure down and have a really nice, like, sort of timing when Spain hits up to fortress with their pressure that arrives at that time. You yourself, you've boomed in the early portion where you know you can get away with it, and you'll be ready to face that. Here can use these musketeers, as Veni points out, to push out and kill the trading post. Obviously, you make these in the early portion of the game to stop the cavalry raids, and of course you can use that to perhaps kill the trading post there. But Spain, what is he up to? Obviously 3 vills, very standard there. First age, every civ sends 3 vills if they have it. Followed by 700 wood to lay down some infrastructure. 5 villages then coming out, get the economy rolling. 700 coin is going to use that to age up and get to the next age, which he's almost up to. And then going to arrive with the insane amount of shipments that Spain can spam in the fortress age. Oh, that's my deck. Let's click on his deck. Yeah, let's take a look at that. Wow, they're not very good though, like compared to vanilla. It makes me very sad, but go ahead, Veni.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, Blackstar shipped 700 wood first, but he made the second trading post rather late.
Yeah.
So he just invested it in a few market upgrades and a couple of houses, but he has no Rex yet either, so...
Yeah, oh, I like what he's doing here though, like sort of making the blue player not siege his trading post there. Perhaps wants to get one more pass and grab one man, and he's managed to achieve that. That's gonna matter, get some extra XP out, though unfortunately he does lose his Cherokee Rifleman and his thing. Oh, upgraded the route, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I was just wondering where, like I said, where his wood was going, but there he just invested in upgrading his trade route.
But he's not gonna be able to use it, these trading...
Yeah, the thing is, Boneng will now also take out the second trading post on the bottom, and it looks like, after all, he's not aging, but he's investing everything in making units. Yeah. So what he maybe wants to do is make sure that he has a big enough army ready, and that's why he had the setup for that. That Blackstar is not comfortable with shipping 2 cannons, because he would then be able to surround it with musketeers and Cossacks.
Yeah.
And that might actually be one of the few ways that Russia can deal with this. However, of course, there's a Rex going up for Blackstar in the back, which means that, of course, 4 Lancer shipment and some skirmishes is still a very valid option. Ooh,
nice
Cossacks.
catch there. Gonna take those out. Gonna snare them so they can't escape there because, of course, of the effect in AoE 3. Gonna catch them. He can send the ones being attacked back, but Blackstar's done a very good job of putting 1 hussar on each different cavalry unit, so he can't just send 1 back to make the entire group move faster.
Yeah, very nice micro there indeed.
Yeah, but now he
Blackstar.
sees the musketeers and wants to get back, and the tides have turned. Since the musk's here, Boneng gonna engage, gonna snare him so the musks can get some damage, but ultimately I don't really think it's gonna be that bad for him.
Yeah, I like that as well. You saw that Blackstar for a moment pulled back. He had a very nice horizontal line of his cavalry. That means very good output once he engages. And the musketeers were still out of range, so he just got off a few more hits before turning back.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's committing with 4 Lancer shipment and just 5 skirmishes in the back. And actually, this is a battle I think that would go very well for Blackstar, just because the Lancer and just the 5 skirmishers, if they are left untouched, they will just completely kill this Russian musketeer.
Yeah, though fortunately that trading route not going to get any use out of that trading. Yeah, but as you were saying, these Lancers absolutely insane. 20 times 3 versus infantry, just 2 pokes, 60 damage, 2 pokes on these muskets. Well, I haven't said that they do have 20% melee resist, so it's not quite like that. It's actually 3, but. Cavalry, very tough for Russia to deal with. Russian musketeers are not as good as other musketeers. I'm going to jump on that bandwagon and just say that, because it's true. They do die. They're much weaker against cavalry because they have so many.
Yeah, and just in the bottom there we see that not only did he take it out the second trading post for Blackstar, he also made a trading post himself because the stagecoach upgrades was already done by Blackstar. And actually, I was about to say, that he should move his hero because I don't like any idle heroes. Too many people do that. Scout around the map to know where your opponent is and what he's doing, or use your hero
to sponge up some damage. Yeah, coming to build this trading site by the looks of it, and the 500 HP hero is met by another hero building the trading post and a whole army of cav. If I was that guy right now, I'm not going to feel too happy about that. Yeah. Do you think here he targets the outlaw rifleman to make sure that his red doesn't get the XP?
Yeah, I think it's too late. He could do it small. It would be a small thing to do so, but hey, I was just seeing something else. Click on Blackstar's hero. It made me laugh for a second.
Blackstar's hero, where is it? Veni. That's your name.
Yes, exactly. I was just seeing that when I clicked on the other one. But actually,
you're not Spanish. This doesn't make any sense.
No, it's just Blackstar has been my biggest fan. You didn't know that.
Wow, he's losing some villages.
Yes,
here.
5 villages on top. Wow.
Happy about that. That's not too good. But I think Russia here is at his critical mass, right? Very, very strong economy because villagers train very fast for Russia. Due to
he has to fight here, and he has to put some musketeers in melee mode for sure.
Absolutely. The fight though doesn't look too good. Those skirmishes being surrounded by, of course, the Cossacks, and here Blackstar being forced to use his lancers. Apparently, some of them at least, to body block the cavalry from getting to the skirmishes here. This is really good for Blackstar. Boneng, he's got the Boyar's upgrade active, which is insane. That 15% essentially veterancy upgrade for these units.
Yep.
And obviously you only want to send that when you've got a big massive units. But here, the Spain shipments not holding out for him. Only 4 lancers, only 4 hussars from those shipments. Not quite as many units. And
well, he trained on a dog, by the way, just to tank a little bit of more damage. But you have to keep in mind that this was actually a quite decent trade. I think a little bit in favor of Boneng, but the thing not to forget is that Blackstar is in the 3rd age and Boneng is not.
Yeah, that's
and that
true.
means that once this kind of resets, as you see over here, the investment for Blackstar was more because of the hussars and lancers and the goons, etc. But because it kind of reset it over here and Blackstar now has a tech advantage, I think that he's in a better position.
Yeah, that's true. Blackstar is up to the fortress age. He has access to dragoons, which absolutely annihilate cavalry. Dragoons have that 26 damage times 3 of the all-ranged cavalry counter. Other cavalry is what they do, and has access to skirmishers. Yeah, they don't have shipments. Spain can't ship skirmishers, but still, skirmishers absolutely annihilate. Of course, musketeers. Skirmishers armed with a rifle, long range. Musketeers, short range musket. That's how it works. The guns aren't arbitrary. AoE 3 does have a counter system that makes sense. I'm saying this for a reason, by the way. But anyway. Wow.
Oh, wow. It looks like he saw the dead animal, and that's why he was going there for a raid, and Boneng hasn't spotted yet. By the way, Blackstar did remake his trading post before there, but he's now also going to take out the trading post of Boneng in the bottom there.
Yeah, I was going to mention it. If Blackstar had those trading posts up the entire time, he would have been in a very strong spot.
Yeah, would matter a lot. I like this move as well, sending a musketeer back to deal with the dragoons, but also going for a raid on the top here with the Cossacks to catch at least like 3. Oh! Going for the hero, he should have gone straight ahead for the villagers.
Maybe he doesn't know. Although splitting off, sending a couple of Cossacks to deal with these vills here. Boneng, that's exactly what he needs to do to stay in this game. Of course, his opponent does have a tech advantage, having access to those units I mentioned, and also the shipment spam. He just sent 12 pikes. Yes, 12 pikemen isn't that good. They are just pikemen, but still, that's a big shipment if you work out how many resources that is. Two cannons, going to be very tough for of course, Russia to deal with. But they do have, getting caught by the dragoons here. They're going to do a lot of damage to those Cossacks. There's no musketeers or strelets nearby to force those dragoons away. It's not going to be too good. But what was I saying? There was something else.
Yeah, the thing is that it was nice, like I said, that he split up his musketeers to deal with the dragoons and go with the Cossacks for a raid.
Yeah.
However, Blackstar, of course, being a good player, right away sent his dragoons back, and not just back towards the Cossack, but trying back via a path like this to cut off the Cossacks from returning home.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he was able to get 3-4 Cossacks. And also what I want to mention here is that the economy for Boneng is quite a bit better, yes. But still, the tech advantage will matter a lot because Blackstar was able to reset the army count from Boneng.
Yeah.
He is now able to safely ship his cannons because he doesn't have to deal with a huge mass. And there you see that soon he will bring his pikemen back, I hope. Oh, he leaves some pikemen there as an anti-raid. The Dragoons are running.
Oh, they're taking some damage from the Strelets, which of course have a rifle. ×2 damage versus the ranged cannon. Not too good, and lots of muskets, not too good. But, you know, the cannons are here now, looking okay. This is interesting. Like, okay, Blackstar has the tech advantage. He has lots of military unit shipments funding this push. Really, really strong. Russia, though, does hit up to the Fortress Age.
Okay.
That's okay. It's okay for him. Obviously, right now he's now 2,200 units of resources behind in terms of military, but obviously does need to get to the Fortress Age at some point. But yes, has a stronger economy. Can he fight this incoming tech pressure with shipments? And
yeah, well, he will for sure start to use his own cannons, I assume, anytime soon to deal with the cannons of Blackstar. And this is also very nice. I mentioned it before. Blackstar put his pikemen there and even had a few dragoons there. He knew that he had a small advantage over there with the cannons, that Boneng was probably not likely to fight him. And that's what means that Boneng would then probably go for a raid to make his army useful. Yeah. And in anticipation of that, he already posted some pikemen and dragoons. However, he still lost 2 villagers, so that's not
pick up on these things. Sees the cannons there, and even though like he knew he couldn't get them, so sends them back. Sends his cav to do some raiding, as you said. Like that's wow. Blackstar knows what he's doing. Is one of the strongest players for a reason, put it that way.
And interesting thing there is he shipped, I think, 1 cannon, or did he make a cannon? Where does the 1 cannon come from?
The 1 cannon is, if you click on the improvements tab, it appears in there. It should be a shipment, but I think ASAP misprogrammed it. It's the 1 cannon shipment, and for some reason it doesn't appear. But, you know, Spain have so few good shipments because the Rodelleros were nerfed into the ground that 1 cannon actually becomes like a reasonable thing to send.
Yeah, we talked about this before, Blackstar and I, and the thing is that if you think about this, it could also work in a French mirror, so for example, but the idea is that you have 1 more cannon compared to your opponent's cannon.
Yeah, of course, 2 cannon shipment has just arrived from Russia. He needs these to deal with his opponent's cannons, but, you know, Blackstar anticipating that and sending an extra 1. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. That's spot on. He anticipated the 2 cannons of Boneng, and having 1 additional cannon will matter a lot, because even if you miss micro, you still come out ahead, and if you micro properly, you will come ahead for sure.
Insanely ahead, yeah. 3 cannons though, gonna be super strong versus the Strelets. Can they get a shot off? No, doesn't get quite close. He didn't want that to happen, but here gonna have to be very careful. Dragoon's gonna come forward, perhaps gonna snipe down the cannon. They do have a lot. No, he did the attack move, which targeted that. Could have gotten a shot. Oh wow, the cannon's absolutely ravaging those other 2 there, and this. Oh my goodness, Blackstar has just secured a very commanding lead there with those cannon shots. I think Boneng could have been a bit more careful, have them a little bit further back, but obviously 3 cannons is tough to deal with.
Yeah, the problem was though that the combination of cannons and dragoons is very good, because goons have so much HP that they can even body block Cossacks. Yeah. And also you see, as soon as Boneng does 1 miss micro, the dragoons come in and immediately snipe a cannon.
Yeah.
And you saw also that the infantry of Boneng was kind of blocking his own cannons to ideally move back or fight the cannons of Blackstar.
They were blocking them slightly, they couldn't get into the range. It's veteran dragoons, so good. 26 damage. Really good against cavalry, also at the ×2 damage multiplier versus artillery. Yeah, the cannons resist 75% of range, but despite that, veteran dragoons, even though they fight them at range, have that ×2 multiplier. Very good against the cannons that he did snipe here. And leaving his cannons, Ungut, 2 Cossacks coming in, sends all of his dragoons to deal the raid here, obviously forcing him off the hunts though, being careful though, not going to let those cannons go down. But if they were left on their own, those 2 Cossacks could have done some work.
Yeah, now he's gonna find all the villages of Boneng there. I'm not sure why they were there still gathering for so long. And also, by the way, Blackstar was able to get his 3 trading posts back again with Stagecoach, of course, to make up for that 17 villager difference. Yeah. And we see here now a little raid from Boneng on the right side. It's actually a similar move. You can't deal with the army of your opponent right away. Yeah. So what you try to do is make your army worth in other ways.
So by raiding, exactly, or perhaps looking for some maybe villages on the coin mine down here, or the hunt that over here where he is right now. Certainly going to kill this house that's in the middle of the
thing is though that Blackstar had complete line of sight also with the trading post, so he knows exactly about the movements of Boneng, and now you see that he was running his villages away without a problem.
Yeah, he knows that that's there. Yeah, going to move those because he can see it with the house. Absolutely.
Look at this,
villagers
nice.
Coming out, going to go into hand combat versus the cannons, of course. Oh, very cheeky indeed. Going to get back into the TC there. Of course, villagers have 10 hand attack in when they're doing hand damage, and they can do that. Doesn't manage to take it out though, but this is still very tough.
He's gonna try to come from the back with the 2 operating to kill the cannon.
Yeah, Fishnik's very strong against artillery there. Have a ×2 damage ×2 in hand combat. But no,
they go for a raid actually.
They're going for a raid. Where are they heading to? We'll find out soon. Absolutely, but yeah. Oh, he did manage to get a raid down here. Then there are quite a few vills, I think. definitely managing to take those out.
Yeah.
But blue now has decided this is unplayable on the land. Gonna have to switch to the sea in desperation for finding food. Of course, sending schooners, reducing the cost of his fishing ships by 60%, and is trying to get that going. Has a second town center up, but has a frigate, so definitely the frigate is gonna buy some time. Of course, Blackstar can't fight that with this on the coast, so this is going to buy him maybe the time he needs to get back into it, but like the score is still very even. 158 to Boneng, 172 to the red player. But yes, it's even now, but Blackstar is just ravaging his base, and I don't think it's going to be very even for long. It's going to be tough for Boneng.
Yeah, and Blackstar has no water deck, so he won't be able to ship his frigate, for example. So it's going to be hard for him to deal with the possible water boom that Boneng is going for if he's going to fortify it. You see already a second town center going up, the blockhouse still there. And meanwhile, we have Highlanders.
Though. Yeah, Highlanders coming out, of course, perhaps running out of shipments to send now that is obviously Spain has so many to send and has actually probably sent them all. Blackstar, these are Highlanders. I was going to call them Black Watch because that's what the British call them. But yeah, these things, 1,000 coin from his home city, very, actually pretty good, repelling that quite nicely. Black Watch is very, very strong, but now Boneng can't actually do any more harassing with his army here. Oh, though he might get caught.
Yes,
his dragoons on the way back. He needs to go and garrison in his frigate.
Well, no, he should. If he stops with his army, then he can properly shoot with the frigate, like now.
Yeah.
But he does. He runs away.
No! Stop! Stay still! Let the frigate get a lock on. Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's ran away too far. These units, I mean, they're only Strellas. They don't call it. They're 50 wood and 10.
Yeah, he's only buying time. Oh, by the way, we see that a few Cossacks here try to take out the cannon, but they only succeed in taking out one. One out of the cannon is still 70 HP, and the pikemen were able to deal with it. But you also see that Blackstar is making our second town center here in the middle, so he is just trying to go for a superior land economy. Oh,
yeah.
There
Boneng, though, still in this game. It looks all the Oprichnek's taken out that cannon, but Boneng's still in the game despite what it looks like for him. He has 36 villages. That is a lot of vills compared to Blackstar. He's done a good job of actually trading off his army. Well, he didn't have to trade off. He certainly did lose those, but has taken out the villages of Blackstar.
Look at this. They are.
Oh, the Oprichneks. Where are they going? I didn't see it.
The Oprichneks were barely in a line of sight from a town center, so Blackstar pulled his villages back for a second, but it was close. Of course.
Oh, these Oprichneks though, they ×3 damage multiplier versus the villagers, so strong here. Oh, does he see it though? They're in the middle of the dragoon. No, that was. No, he switches back to see it. That was in real life that wouldn't happen because you see two guys walk into your formation, but in Age of Empires, that's rather funny. But as I was saying, this isn't over yet. He still has a decent economy, 2 town centers fully up and running, a giant fish boom fully up and running. The military count, though, is very, very heavily in favor of Blackstar. But the frigate could buy it, and the caravel as well. They could buy in the time he needs to get his army back up and running. It's going to be tough, though. 2 town centers down now for Blackstar too, and of course he has the trading route.
Yeah, and he took out 1 trading post, so that's a very nice small victory there for Boneng. But I'm curious to see what he will do, because he looks like he has an artillery foundry up and he's making some Strellet. So if Blackstar identifies this on time, he will of course adjust and make lancers.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. There's no space to build that mill. Oh, he could have put it on the island. That would have been a sick
that
play.
Actually would be a good place, yes.
Yeah, but he builds it on the land there, and these dragoons are going to deny him access to it. Though the frigate and the caravel are coming back, and obviously Red can't get too close. These boats in AoE 3 are so strong against land units. They're like floating falconets with 2,000 hit points, not 200. And though they do slightly less damage, they don't have the same damage multipliers or area damage, but still, it's a floating cannon.
Yeah, and this is turning out into a much longer game. Blackstar also taking the Cree settlement there on the left side to boost his economy even more.
Yeah, this thing they made that you can get 5 villages out of there. That's true. It's like having an extra town center for 5 villages worth of time. This is such an interesting game. It's not even over, but Blackstar catching up quickly in terms of economy. These 2 town centers here, plus his original one, all 3 villas town centers, plus the Cree, as you mentioned.
And we get to the point that at some point the land economy will be superior, because of course now Boneng has fish on the water, but fish diminishes over time, so then at some point his village account will be not as useful as Blackstar's village account.
That's true.
And we see that Blackstar now scouted the artillery foundry of Boneng, and he is now making one of his own. So there might be either Falconets or Culverins, not sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of the two.
Culverins looks like.
Yeah, let's check. Well, you can see it in the queue, can't you? Culverin's gonna be very, very strong. 3 Culverins gonna be very useful for killing the boats. Culverins, obviously, their function is anti-artillery and anti-boats. So those are gonna be what he needs to kill these, which are stopping him from pushing in and finishing the game. That's what he needs, definitely. No more messing around. He's got them out there. You can see absolutely annihilating that boat. But Veni, before this fight gets going, what do you think? Let's talk about how did he get into this spot? Obviously, Spain's very, very timing pressure coming down with all of the shipments and the tech advantage. What did Russia do to get into this spot?
Yeah, I feel that a little bit of a mismicro from the cannons made it a very unfavorable trade. Of course, it was a very good move by Blackstar to use his 3rd cannon. But I felt the trade-off could be a little bit closer if Boneng got out proper shots. I think he only damaged 1 cannon, 1 shot or so, and the rest was just, I'm not sure what happened there. So that actually got him in a very rough spot, and from there on it just, how you said it, it's steamrolled, for the Spanish guy, because you have the advantage of so many guns and cannons that the Russian guy is just not able to deal with it.
Yeah, if he'd managed to neutralize the cannons a bit better, then it would just be Dragoons.
Yep,
Dragoons
exactly,
only
and then you can deal with
cavalry, and if he'd managed to kill the cannons in the time that he had, then all he'd have was Dragoons, which, there'd be no anti-infantry. Russia would be in a good spot. But the cannons you just can't get to now, because cavalry are the things which counters them here. Though the boat going to come in, going to use his broadside attack on the Falcon, on that, almost takes it out. Oh, I forgot they have slightly more hit points than Falcon, so it doesn't actually eliminate it. But that was a nice, cheeky move there. Not letting them shoot at the frigate either, but yeah, those boats just can't get anywhere near these land units, because the Culverins will absolutely annihilate.
Yeah, it was good micro. He's going to go for a little bit of a hit again. Looks like he's barely out of range with the Culverin, but still taking out some Dragoons here and there.
Yeah, using that to his advantage.
And now we have a full tower going up there for Blackstar.
Tower coming down, but maybe these Culverins can get a shot off on the frigate. They do, and that is not going to be too good. Look at all the hit points. Just one single volley takes that many hit points off. Just can't get anywhere near them. Where's the tower you're talking about? Oh, 2 outposts. Not even, these are so strong against boats. These are just going to deny the...
Blackstar, it was very spot on, by the way, with his micro, because the caravel was coming in probably for another shot as well, but he immediately took it out with the Culverins with, of course, 34 range.
Yeah.
And now 3 Falconets of his own to kind of seal the deal here and make sure that he destroys everything fast.
Yeah, that's true, and this now looks very, very tough indeed. I think there is no question now that the Blackstar has a commanding lead here. What can Boneng do to get back in this?
What he's doing nicely is on the left side he's trying to fight small pieces of Blackstar's army, so Strellet versus Goons, that's actually a quite decent rate. And actually what he should be looking for, maybe like a 6 Oplichnik shipment. Did he already use it? Imagine if 6 Oplichniks come out from the town center and take out the cannons right now. That's the kind of thing you'll be looking for as a Russian player here.
Yeah.
Of course, it
6
also...
yeah, there's nothing protecting them right now. If the 6 Oprichniks had popped, that's very, very true.
Yeah, so you kind of lure it away with the Strelets on the left side and then try to buy some more time, and that's actually kind of the only things you can do. And then, of course, it's up to Blackstar to make sure that he protects his cannons properly.
Yeah, but Blackstar... very commanding lead here. Now starting to send economic shipments behind this, probably because he doesn't have any other shipment to send. 4 villages and Eco Theory looking very good. Boneng, though, don't think he has very many shipments left to send. Of course, Spain advantages extra shipments at this point in the game. You can have very, very few to send. The last one we sent was 2 caravels, and that was quite a while ago.
Yeah, Blackstar even sent 4 villages in Eco Theory of the second age shipments and the first age.
Yeah, as I said, yeah.
Looks like he's gonna hide a little bit more over there. Blockhouse, dock going up. No mill yet, as you suggested on the island.
Yeah, put 10 vills in a caravel, dump them on the island. That would have been really cool.
You see it on the left side. He's trying to stay as much out of range from the cannons as he can. However, of course, cannon 26 range not going to be easy.
Not going to be easy.
Using villages again.
Oh, the villagers coming out. These are going to be very strong against the cannons.
And they take it out.
Oh, and the Breachniks as well. The 6 shipment has arrived. These things are going to clean up the cannons very, very easily. The problem is, though, there are quite a few Dragoons there. But now the cannons are down. The Strelets, which have a ×2 multiplier versus Dragoons, can get into range of the Dragoons, take them out.
But the Oblichniks are taking out Goons, not Culverins.
No, but I guess that's because he wanted to DPS down the counters there, but I don't know, maybe he thought he could...
He should have taken out the Culverins.
He should have taken out the Culverins.
Because then his ships can come in again, because his frigate is still waiting on the right side. As soon as his Culverin is down, he can use his frigate again. Yeah. But very nice move.
What? He has built he's building on the land there. 2 blockhouses going down on the island here. Unfortunately, though, does one get taken out, but the other one, he might be able to get that up before it gets... Yeah, obviously he wants to focus this down before it gets up, because blockhouses, like outposts, have insane anti-ship damage. But the frigate going to come in, going to use that to buy him the time he needs to get the blockhouses down. Still trying very hard to stay in this game. Still has a very good economy, actually. And even on military, he's like, actually, despite all of this, still in a reasonable, like, well, I don't know, he's going to run out of fish soon, but...
And there we have the blockhouse finishes up, so that is an additional nice defense there.
Yeah, but these canoes have come out as well, and canoes, as we know, are very, very cost-effective for fighting water stuff. Partly because, like, you can't focus them with a broadside attack because, well, you just annihilate one of them, which is not a big target. You'd rather use that to focus down a big target.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, and these things, like, just hard to deal with because they're just everywhere and good stats for their cost.
But you see that now the economy of Blackstar on the land with 82 villages is still doing a good job all around. And the fish is almost depleted here.
And the fishing boats, even if the fish weren't depleted, are going to get killed by these massive canoes.
Yep.
And Blue does not have access to a native post to be able to train canoes, because the only other one is too close to his opponent's town centre, I would imagine. Well, actually, perhaps not, because Red did get this one up. But then that's not his starting town centre, so actually that's irrelevant. But does almost have it killed. Perhaps he can take out this trading post and build it himself, and then have access to canoes, which are 100 wood each.
Yeah, but he's soon running out of trees as well.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be, yeah, maybe he tries to go for that, I'm not sure. But the economy of Blackstar is much better, so it will be hard to catch up with that. You see also 310 points versus 195.
Yeah, it's very, very big, and that's because, of course, Blackstar has so many other things on the map, like plantations. It's 8 units of score, lots of infrastructure, arsenal upgrades and things like that. Let's take a look at the improvements tab. Yeah, it has like loads of the upgrades behind this, of course. Well, just the one actually, ranged cavalry crusaders plus market upgrades. But oh, 4 cannons here, unguarded though. Villagers coming forward to snipe them down again.
I like this really.
But I don't know like if it's enough. Villagers are still weak to well, they have 202 hit points. Thing is though, he's trading off his economy for the cannon kills, but you can't. Here comes the veteran Appreciatics, and Boneng up to the industrial age. I have no idea how he managed to afford that, but here gonna be a very cost-effective trade. These things are 500 units of resources each. The Appreciatics only well, 150, something like that. And yes, he lost all the Appreciatics, but that's so many cavalry who's gone down. Buying himself even more time, has snuck up to the industrial age, gonna have access to those insane heavy cannon ship, or the factories, doesn't have the insane heavy cannon shipments.
Yeah, I think a little bit sloppy of Blackstar just sending out 4 cannons randomly with his dragoons so far away.
I think at this point, Blackstar's like, I'm so far ahead, lol, I'll just send them over here. But
I totally agree. He probably didn't expect the 4th age from Boneng either.
Yeah, like aging up to the industrial age, and the bonus he chose was the Appreciatics. That's not something you like anticipate, is it? Like Blackstar, very good at anticipating shipments, knows what his opponent has available to him, knows what his opponent is likely to send in certain situations. Blackstar, well, Appreciatics from an industrial age up, not something that perhaps,
But like the game before, I'm just gonna say it again, both of these players are of course water players, and once someone is in the 4th age, you know what you might be expecting.
Yeah.
On the water.
Oh my goodness, this is, yeah, Monitor's going to come out on the water. Very, very strong now that he's up to industrial. Those things absolutely wreck. Like, oh no, did you see that game me and Zuta casted? Like, the Monitors used their special attack to absolutely blitz like a pile of 4 Falcons all in one area. That attacks, like, lands, crushes all of the Falcons.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not sure I saw it, but yeah, that's a crazy attack that they can use.
He's safe now if he can get one out.
Well, he did ship his factory, although it's not building yet because there's a few villages in the way, it looks like. He found like one spot to build his factory.
This game, oh my goodness, like Boneng is still in it, up to industrial, fighting this uphill battle for about 15 minutes now. This is insane. Found a spot to put the factory down. Like, I was thinking maybe you put it on the island where it's kind of safer. Like, land units then can't get to it. The only way it can be killed is by someone managing to get a landing on the small island. This is, like, possibly one of the more interesting games I've seen in a while. Blackstar and Boneng, very strong players, very interesting match so far, but it's still in Blackstar's favour. Has more villages and a larger military, and the fish is running out for Boneng. I think it's all gone, and these boats aren't going to mean very much. It's only the whales that he can gather from now, the infinite sources of coin from the belugas, but they have limited spots. It's only a few whales, and you can only have 4 people per whale on
Well,
gathering.
there's like one whale just not available for him because it's too close to Blackstar, but there's still 1, 2, 3, so that's 12 villages on gold, for which he doesn't have to make any plantations. And as you see here, Blackstar already making
Oh, getting
1,
the
2
blockhouse up on the
plantations.
island, reclaiming his position. Yeah. This is...
Yeah, he should use his caravel there to lure the ship of Blackstar to the blockhouse. And this is
Yeah.
also, by the way, a position in which Russia actually does quite good, because Blackstar can't really make a lot of lances cost effectively. I think he's just scared of, Strelets just running away. And the Dragoons get decently counted by Strelets. It's kind
They
of a
do.
very cost efficient way for Russia to stay alive at this point.
Yeah, and if you can get the guard upgrade, Strelets become so good, especially with like counter infantry rifling. If you can get that behind him as well, but look, he's got the seed the Cree training from the native post. He's even getting these native upgrades, which I don't even know what Cree training does. What do you know?
I think
It doesn't matter.
it
Blackstar though
allows you to make the Croix de Bois, I think.
Oh, okay. So you have to
something.
send that to get that. Well, either way though, Blackstar now up to industrial as well to match Boneng. Yes, he has the advantage, but Boneng, can he pull it back? He has this like insane water presence and is like got his factories up and running. Does Spain even have that in his deck? Yeah, he does. This isn't vanilla.
Yeah.
You can't afford to put those in your deck.
But Blackstar 8 with the 2 cannons, that's of course very smart choice here for to play versus Russia. You saw the Strelets, so you need some cannons.
Ooh, look at this.
Looks
Two
like-
cannons gonna get some shots off on the...
Bam,
oh my
yes.
goodness. Ouch.
1 villager for 5 Strelets. Actually,
Oh my goodness. But Blackstar now getting the carronade upgrade for his boats. And
meanwhile these boats here on the water will get destroyed by the canoes.
yeah, but he doesn't need them anymore anyway. They're not doing anything. There's no fish to gather. It's a shame.
Oh, Blackstar making a monitor before Boneng is making a monitor.
Oh,
I should have known.
yeah. Blackstar is the king of sleaziness, so absolutely. Though I don't think he's going to use the special attack on this. Can he get a lock on? They're moving. There, he can lock on. Wow, it looks like they're being sniped out of the water. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not actually surprised that Boneng didn't make any monitor so far, to be honest.
To be fair, those things are expensive. Like, where do you pull the resources from? Like, you'd have to have a pretty big anal cavity to afford a monitor when you're
Well,
in
yeah, but
Boning's position.
he does have 400 wood and 700 gold or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's well, it's more like
800
it's very
wood.
costly, of course, but it does so much for you.
That's true, but yeah, they do so much. Like, if he had one, he could snipe these 2 falconets here and just make artillery completely useless unless you've got like cauldrons or mortars or something which have such a long range that you can attack the monitor. But here, though, I don't know. I don't think he can deal with these 2 cannons here. All he's got
He
is
has
the really
a heavy
effective
cannon
guard
from the factory.
strelets. Heavy cannon comes out. He's got the upgrade, mass production available at the, of course, the factory. So to increase the rate at which these create. Oh, snipes the cannon there, going down. This heavy cannon going to be very useful with the 2 dragoons. Although lots of dragoons coming in, going to get, of course, their ×2 damage multiplier against that. Can he get far away enough from the wall so that they can't follow him? Keep that alive. Can he get it? No. Oh, 17
Yeah.
hit point. Oh, it goes down.
Because he did the arsenal upgrade for Dragoons 14 range, he barely got it.
Those dem plays. He's not going to be too happy about that though. Like, those things are so... oh my goodness. Just gets obliterated by the monitor. 2 monitors. Did you just see the blockhouse just fall down out of nowhere? Like, that's what's going to happen. Every time that ultimate ability recharges, it's going to just annihilate one of the buildings in this area. And slowly, Blackstar is just going to harass these vills. Yeah, the Strelets are going to pop out and force the Dragoons back. And slowly, these 2 monitors are just going to make these buildings drop like flies as the ability keeps charging. But fortunately, they can't get too close.
Look at this cannon here.
Oh, a heavy cannon pops out. I don't think the Dragoons can focus that this time though, because there's too many Strelets in the back there. But yeah, does pop out from his second factory. Pretty good. But unfortunately, his water presence on the islands is disappearing as these boats are massed up and are able to take them out.
Blackstar's pushing nicely both on land and water, and that's because of his superior economy that he built up from the start, and that's...
Yeah, and it's still good eco. 101 bills to Blackstar now, 74 to Boneng. Still a reasonable economy, and this game has gone on very, very long. Boneng, like, I think it's... I don't even know what to say. This is crazy.
Heavy cannon gonna be brought up in the mix here to fight.
It's true. Heavy cannon, very strong against boats there. 200 times 3 versus boats. 600 bombard damage. Those things are absolutely crazy. And the caravel and the frigate adding in the damage. That Blackstar gonna have to get back, though fortunately the Dragoon's still pushing on land. Quite an overwhelming presence on the land there and on the sea. Like, he will just make more boats and then come back in. But that is the end of the game. Blackstar takes the win after 38 minutes of intense fighting there. Boneng carrying it out to the very end. There was that one critical time, that one fight in their base involving the cannons, we think led to this problem for Russia to get stuck in this corner, but he held on to the last. What an entertaining game.
Yeah, well, like you said, that one fight near town center, near the initial town center, so to say, from the Russian guy, that really went very good for Blackstar. But even if it went like more equal, Boneng would still be in a rough spot, I feel. But then, of course, the thing is now that there were still 2 cannons alive, I feel, for Blackstar. So that just steamrolls over everything from Russia at that point. And he lost so many, of course, town center, he lost villagers, he lost his houses, everything he had to rebuild.
All in this area, that's true. Just because that cannon fight, if he'd taken out those cannons or had a better trade against the cannons, then all Spain would have been dragoons, which all they do is counter cavalry. And, like, without the cannon presence, then the dragoons are kind of useless, and Russia would have been okay. Might have been able to keep all of that infrastructure in this area, but unfortunately it does get pushed into this corner because of that. But the sea, Boneng, obviously, I don't know if this is related. I don't know if it's a Boneng specific thing, or maybe it's a Japanese thing. But from their meta game, at least I know from Boneng, is very strong on the water, a very good water player, likes the water, and used the water in this match to carry the game on a bit longer, see if he could get back into it.
Yeah, but I do want to add that Blackstar is one of the few players that will be able to fight him on the water, no problem. He also knows his water tricks and skills and strategies, and he also knows what to make and when to make. And as you see here, I think he had a very, of course, we have the bird's eye view here, but I think he made very good decisions about when pushing on land and when adding something to the water. And as it seems a little bit unexpected to Boneng, for example, because Boneng could have invested a little bit more in the water, but he didn't because he probably wasn't expecting the army from Blackstar at that point. And also, the Dragoons from Blackstar, of course, strategies counter Dragoons cost effectively. However, if you have a good number of Dragoons, you are also constantly disrupting the economy and you're forcing your opponent to make strategies, which then, of course, means less villagers, less wood for boats, etc. So I think all in all, very well played. But like I said, I feel this matchup is in favor of Spain, but very well played nonetheless by both of them, but indeed, like you said, Boneng held out for a very long time.
And it was a very even game as well, up until that one critical point, I think. And then even after that, he held on, absolutely.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, Russia had a very good economy in the back. Of course, Blackstar did have a little bit more map control, and he had the 3 trading posts upgraded. But if Boneng, for example, would do... suppose this match is going to happen again, and Boneng is going to make, for example, like 1 Culverin or just 1 or 2 Falconets of his own. Then at some point, if the Russian guy has enough of a mass, like musketeers, some cavalry, maybe even some dragoons mixed in, then Spain is really in a bad position, because what are you going to do then?
That's true.
Skirmishers, yeah, perhaps, okay. You still got lancers, but lancers are not as good in big battles as they are in smaller skirmishes.
Alright, but unless you have anything else to add, I think I'm going to end it here. Stay tuned though, everybody. More games coming up, but for this particular recording, anything else to say, Veni? Any final concluding comments?
Good game here,
Good
was
game.
Nice to watch.
Well played, very entertaining. Thank you very much for watching. Do leave a like if you enjoyed the video, because I'm sure this will appear on either one of our channels. I'm absolutely certain of that. But absolutely, thank you very much for watching.